From March 27th to April 4th, 2008, students, faith, community members, and workers joined together to celebrate the lives of Cesar Chavez and the anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. The National Student Labor Week of Action is a time for students across the country to demonstrate our strength as we demand respect and dignity for working people and affordable, accessible education for everybody. The Student Labor Action Project is a joint initiative of Jobs with Justice and the United States Students Association that engages student organizations in economic justice campaigns. SLAP supports the growing student movement for economic justice by making links between campus and community organizing, providing skills training to build lasting student organizations, and developing campaigns that win concrete victories for working families. On March 28th, SLAP hosted a hugely successful spoken word event at the P.O.W.R Art Space in South Philadelphia, titled Voices of the Rebels. This event brought together local poets, MCs, artists, and activists to support the struggle of security officers in Philadelphia for justice on the job. It featured performances of original works by members of the Philadelphia Student Union, Students for Justice in Palestine, the Student Peace Alliance, and political MCs Rev. 1 and Son of None, as well as calls to action by local activists fighting campaigns for social and economic justice. On April 1st, SLAP and JwJ supported Temple University's American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME local union, at the rally against merit pay. Temple AFSCME has worked without a renewed contract since October of 2007, and Temple's administration has refused to sit back down at the negotiating table. The union's main grievance concerns Temple's insistence on implementing a union-busting merit pay system. The system would encourage favoritism and injustice, basing all employee raises on arbitrary reviews by supervisors, instead of across-the-board pay raises to keep up with the increasing cost of living due to inflation. On April 6, 2008, Philadelphia Jobs with Justice, Temple Student Labor Action Project, and Philadelphia Officers and Workers Rising, along with security guards, faith leaders, students, and community members attended a service at Arch Street Methodist Church to commemorate the life of MLK Jr. on the date of his assassination. They pledged to continue his 1968 efforts to organize sanitation workers in Memphis, Tennessee for social and economic justice. The 16,000 predominantly African-American Allied Barton security guards working in Philadelphia today operate under practically identical conditions, which include sub-poverty line wages, unaffordable health care, and inadequate training.
Also, before I begin, I would like to thank the creator of the balanced universe for giving us the opportunity and strength today to be here to commemorate and honor a man of great stature, a man of great conviction, a man within his short period of time yanked the emotional consciousness of a sleeping flawed government to the awareness of their magnificent creed that say all of us are created equal.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But by him standing up for freedom, justice, and equality, he became the #1 threat to American stability.
Yeah.
So the powers that be, within their wicked imagination, plotted his assassination. But not knowing that there is something about how God himself designed his moral universe that says that yes, you can assassinate the physical makeup of a man, but you cannot kill the movement. You can assassinate the voice of a man, but you cannot kill the mindset.
That's right.
There's something about God's moral universe that answers to deep-rooted injustices, the deep-rooted pain, the deep heartfelt cries that emanates from disenfranchised souls of people who yearn for justice, but are victimized by a nation that suffered from a schizophrenic behavior. That says one thing and does another. So we are here today, a movement that is being born today in a representation of the people full of deep-rooted hurt, deep-rooted pain that is caused by America's systemic social, economic, economic dishonesties. Deep-rooted pain that is caused by these prestigious universities, lack of care for the very people whom they employ. Through the company like Allied Barton, the Philadelphia Museum of Art, under one Anna D. Hannaford, Allied University like Temple University, University of Penn, and many more who within their practice grow the nerve to be satisfied in paying the working class poor slave wages within their consciousness, denying us health care with no consciousness, refusing us sick leave with no consciousness, treating us like third-class citizens in this 21st century.
Yes, sir.
It is no coincidence how they treat us. In a workforce 97% African American and 99.9% disenfranchised. It is no coincidence about this business as usual tactic that exists in these institutions that need to be shaken up, because we are human beings and not dogs that we are satisfied with the crumbs that they toss off their lucrative tables and expect us to be happy. I'm a human.
Yes.
And this is more than just a dream. Thank you.
So you see, dream realization requires sacrifice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It remains a pipe dream if nobody's willing to sacrifice. Somebody has to be willing to give up something. Something has to change in order for a dream to be realized. I believe as a Christian, I believe the reality of God and salvation became accessible because somebody made a sacrifice. Somebody had to be willing to make a sacrifice. So, and this campaign is about facing the reality, confronting people with the reality that sacrifice has to be made in order for justice to take place. And you see, but the good part is that dreams that are God-given have God's support.
Speaking now.
Dreams that are God-given, have God's support. If God gives a dream, God is on the side of its accomplishment. And I'm believing today that God is on the side of the accomplishment of this dream. I'm believing today that God is on the side and He is recruiting some folk for a movement to make sure that basic rights are granted to individuals who we depend on for our security. God is recruiting for a movement, and I'm believing today that God will not be satisfied. And He will not stop until that dream becomes a reality, because I'm a witness today that nothing can stand in the way of God. Amen. Now the world